Coalition talks drag on, Chris Hipkins makes a subtle dig and calls for favourite getaway spot to be off-limits for boaties. Te Marie, I'm Sherry Kinnear, and these are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. Chris Luxon's gearing up for yet another round of negotiations today as he and his would-be coalition partners continue to spar over the last few details. The incoming Prime Minister says there are just 3 issues left to negotiate, and he's confident he can find agreement with ACT and New Zealand First. He says all parties have differences of opinion on some matters and there are trade-offs needed between all of them. But Luxon won't say what those last 3 sticking points are, other than to say they're all committed to trying to resolve those issues. Meanwhile, Chris Hipkins has bent convention to call for a ceasefire in war-torn Gaza. He says he's doing so as the Labour leader, not as caretaker Prime Minister, and acknowledges it's an unusual move.
I fully respect the caretaker provisions and my role as Prime Minister during this period. I'll continue to articulate the caretaker government position in my role as Prime Minister. However, it has become untenable for me and it runs against Labour Party values to stand by and watch the horrific scenes we are witnessing without calling for a ceasefire.
Labour must consult with the incoming government, but National says it was informed 4 minutes before the statement. National says it supports the goal of a ceasefire, but acknowledges the conditions have not existed for one so far. A popular Auckland mall is apologising after shoppers were left trapped inside the car park on Saturday afternoon. Some customers at Westfield Newmarket report sitting in their cars for at least 3 hours while queuing for the exits. A spokesperson says the mall offered additional complimentary parking and lifted the boom gates to ease traffic flow. Meanwhile, Newmarket Business Association Chief Executive Mark Knopf-Thomas says it was a perfect storm.
The weather, coupled with Black Friday pre-sales and the beginning of Christmas shopping, meant everybody was out and about and the roads were very congested.
One of Auckland's favourite getaway spots may be off-limits to boaties this summer amid the threat of an ecological disaster. Biosecurity New Zealand's banned anchorage at several sites around Great Barrier Island to stop the spread of an exotic seaweed. But the agency says Caulerpa, which smothers marine environments, has spread beyond several controlled sites. As a result, wider measures may be needed, and they're now speaking with affected communities. And Te Whatu Ora has managed to complete just 3 of the 101 recommendations a task force made 13 months ago to improve wait times. The Planned Care Task Force made the suggestions as one of the first major pieces of work post the switch from DHBs. 70 have implementation or planning underway, while 28 have not been active at all. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more news worth knowing, head to nzherald.co.nz. Kia pai te rā. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.